Trust yourself more. Know that you are in the right place at the right time. Opportunities will present themselves to you when they are meant to, all in divine timing. Get excited about the future again instead of fearing it. This is a reminder that even if you feel that others do not understand or get what you are doing, it is no excuse to curl up and hide. Sure, you may need a little bit of space right now, but the world needs your gift. You are more than worthy. You are feeling somewhat confused by the events that are unfolding right around you and the various seemingly contradicting information that are coming your way. Trust your instincts and do what they are telling you to do, and you will learn a lot about yourself and the direction you want your life to take. Hey, rebels. Okay, so, honey, I would like to say that things are getting messy, but they're not. Things are being put in order, in divine timing, the alignment, everything is coming together. And this is everything due to the cycle that you are in and the cycles that you have previously experienced. So no, this is not the end of your life and the end of your need here. Okay, so don't panic, but this is definitely things are being delivered to the doorsteps of those who is meant to be delivered to. So the the thing that I've been seeing since I arise this morning is a scene from a movie called Let's Give Them Something to Talk About with what's her name, Julia Roberts. And if you know that movie, it's the scene where she went to, I guess it was like some type of wives club meeting, and she was not dressed apart as she usually would be, but the whole town heard about and witnessed her husband cheating on her. So when she comes to this meeting, everybody's whispering and just gossiping in everybody's ear, and Julia, she just had enough. She stood up in that meeting and she tore them all, I would like to say, a new one, but she gave them exactly what it is that they were dishing out. Since they wanted to talk about her, let me tell you everything that it is that we've been talking about you, while y'all are acting like I don't know how y'all already move. And honey, she stood up in that meeting and she pointed fingers and she put all their business out there. Not that anyone in the room did not know one another's business, but just the naivete of them to think, oh, well, Julia's nothing special. Well, that wasn't her character's name, but Julia's nothing special. So we all know her business, but she doesn't know ours, forgetting that she was a part of their group in the first place. So, as it goes, if someone's going to run their mouth to you about other people's business, why wouldn't you think to and even know that, and with the awareness that, oh yeah, they are definitely running my business to somebody else and to the person who they've been talking to me about. But before we get into that, Spirit wants you to know, as far as your energy goes, you have the Queen of Cups, the Hierophant, King of Pentacles, the Sun, Queen of Pentacles, and Justice. And Justice reads, find your balance and fulfillment. Oh, find your balance and fulfill your karma. Fairness, dignity, and integrity. You will receive what you deserve. Now, I see how this can go both ways, but Spirit wants to talk to you for just a moment before we dive into deep in regards to whatever this energy has supported you from. So, here with the seahorse, things are changing and transitioning in regards to the expectations of how your emotions and your logic understanding has been. You are no longer who you once were. So, whatever this situation is that is about to come about in this read, what you need to understand is seahorses, in comparison to most other animals and beings in the world. The male seahorse takes on the pregnancy. The male seahorse carries the eggs until the eggs are ready to be birthed. So there's this transition of change. No one who once knew you, even yesterday, is going to be able to recognize you and recognize your energy because of the way that you have just constantly been learning and growing to know. And the seeds that Spirit has been dropping into your mental understanding is being supported by all the previous awareness that you have had. I got this download of a message earlier in regards to my family matters. And Spirit wants me to share with you that you can say something over and over and not realize how you're not hearing yourself. So, for instance, in an example, when it comes to my relationship with my mother has told people that I was a compulsive liar, which I was. My mother also told people that she thinks that I was an addict, which I was. I was definitely an addict throughout my younger years. But the household that I grew up in, there was so many different addictions. There was drugs, there was sex. I mean, open door sex, honey. Didn't care that the kids was there. Okay, there was just all types of things. There was insecurities that seemed to be regular. So these things was normalized for me in my youth. That anytime I told my mother that something bad happened to me that did not seem right, especially for me being a child, especially with me being a couch potato, a couch potato is someone who watched TV a lot, right? I used to hunt back in the 90s. They called me the human TV guide. And this was the TV guide where you would turn to a channel and that was the channel that told you what was coming on TV. And it would move so slowly. And it would just move so slowly up. And this was before the TV guide even started, the TV guide channel started to pause. And so you can see a frame before it moved to the next one, right? They called me the human, like I was the human TV guy and couch potato. So I learned through TV programming certain things about life, and then looking at my family, I learned other things from life, but I also brought the two together like, okay, but due to me letting my mother know that I was going through certain things or certain people was doing things to me that, heck, on TV, they said you should tell somebody. My teachers told me to tell somebody. I would tell my mother and she would not believe me. And the main person who she would not believe me over when I spoke about them was her sister, who I am 9 years younger than. Right? So look at that gap. And I've told that story over and over. I've reflected on the happenings of me back then. So many times I've had the arguments, I've had the tears, I've written stories, I've written poems, I've, shared the stories with people who were in familiar situations. But the one thing that came to me this morning was that not only was my mother in a very defensive state when it came down to her younger sister, who was only 9 years older than me. Not only to today does my mother protect her sister and believe her sister, even if she will talk shit behind her sister back. My mother believed me over a heroin addict. Yeah, my mother's sister, she had an addiction of that stature. And to not believe your child over someone who is doing such an extreme drug, it's just like, oh my goodness. To look at my relationship or my happenstance with my mother now, and to look at the respect that I once upon a time had for her, that it's like, nah, there's no respect and no love now. Because do I need to go further? No, we do not. But sit with that for a moment. People will know someone's toxic nature. They will know just how bad someone else's ways are. And due to their desperation of wanting that person to be still in their life and not pushing them away, they will defend them to the ends of the earth, even despite, right? So Spirit wants you to understand they are going to drop a seed in you that's going to chain react every other thought that you've had about a particular situation that is going to be brought up. Spirit is handling this for you, though. You need to understand that. So this is not no run tell that, hey, you know what I thought about? No, this is not one of those situations. This is a situation and an ordeal of you having your understanding and your complete closure to completely lock a door on a situation. Your feelings are no longer going to be engaged and involved in confusion. Your feelings will no longer be able to be tampered with. You are going to be able to be so stern on how you even show up for yourself that there's going to be no need to explain, because you know that they already knew, even if they did not admit it out loud to themselves, to you. Right? So it says change happens from within. Assistance in the form of counsel or a good listener. So, honey, we gotta move. Spirit, we got a lot. So, to even move forward here with Flute, where it says connection to spirit, understanding and education, rituals, and celebration. Life is magical. Spirit said there's things that, for instance, when I listen to certain meditations, when you meditate, you're just supposed to take in the energy. When I've listened to other readers once upon a time, I've got to the point where I allowed the message to flow through me, but I would not be consciously wholeheartedly listening, because I know, just like how things are said in the background, and like that whole memory reflexing. If you start to just listen without wrapping your mind around trying to analyze every single thing, you will still receive the message. It's what Spirit wants you to know. You are rising to a level of understanding, listening, and realizing what was heard versus listening and realizing what details of your story was not paid attention to. And not necessarily by others, but by you. Spirit is going to drop the seed in you where you realize where you did not hear yourself when you repetitively told a story. It's going to be that shut down point of information that's going to be delivered to you. That's going to give you the go ahead to move forward. Not that you were looking for permission consciously, but subconsciously, your unconscious was looking for that final nail in the coffin to help you to be done. And it's about either this has happened for you already and this is your confirmation message, or this is something that's going to happen. And Spirit said, do not wait for it to happen. Confirmation. Don't wait for it to happen. Relax yourself. Continue to live about your life the way that you have already been doing, the way that you need to make changes. And when you least expect it, it's going to be one of those, oh, so I've been arguing and doing all this back and forth when it was just as simple as that. Had you known that it was just as simple as that, a lot of the arguments and the debates wouldn't have happened and wouldn't have been necessary. But it was necessary because you were laying down bricks in your foundation and you finally got to that final brick. All right. So here with the flute, what I'm also thinking about is that story of the guy who was going through the village playing the flute or whatever instrument that was. Because to me, this flute more so looks like a recorder. You know, a recorder is, yeah, it's an instrument. Yeah. Anyway, but he was playing the flute throughout the village, and all the rats came out. Hmm. So this message is going to solidify so much for you. This seed that is going to be dropped by spirit. You've already got the waterworks going. You've already seen the ripple effects. You've already seen the natural disasters. But this seed being dropped in you, the way it is going to push you forward to be able to grow and expand without contradicting yourself by looking back to the past of thinking, did I forget something? Should I, could I had? Should I talk to them different? Should I had moved differently? Should I had allowed them? Honey, with then you have the fig tree with the King of Pentacles, but I'm also noticing you have the Queen of Pentacles on the other side. So you are balancing out what you consider to be the particulars of yourself and your presentation of your leadership. No more sob stories. No more he said, she said, they did, none of that. Spirit said that this is one of the many gifts that you have come into you. But you have to trust. Back here with trust. You have to trust that in divine timing, when Spirit knows that you're in the perfect place, the perfect time, the right place, the right time, it is going to be delivered at your doorstep with your name all on it. No one else can get in this box. No one else can open up this box. But even with all that being said, the change in emotion that you are going to finally be able to experience and let go. No more saying that you're done with it and you're dwelling about it later on, and no more saying you're done with it and then you're having nightmare/dreams about it. This is your assurance. Okay, this is your assurance. This is your insurance. Right? So justice is coming in. Right? Spirit has seen how you have been so independently trying to figure out and trying to make sure that you are no fault, no cause, and that you've been taking accountability for yourself, and that you've been taking accountability, but also taking accountability in a sense of having awareness of others and their role in your story and their role in their own. Okay, so focus on your going forward. Focus on how you want to continue to build and create yourself. Have that confidence and have that esteem that it is going to happen, even if it doesn't look like it's possible at all. Spirit, why are we reaching over here? It's a rest. Hmm. So that's even further confirmation of don't dwell on this message. If you need to go back because you've been focusing so hard trying to figure out who is this, what is this, and what should I do, Spirit say go back to the beginning of the message. Don't even listen to the message hard. Don't try to figure out anything. Just rest in the message that is being delivered to you. And something in your conscious is going to pop up. It's going to move from your sub to your actual conscious. It's going to move and reveal what needs to be revealed in divine timing, at the right place, right time for you. When Spirit knows that you are in alignment, when Spirit knows that you are ready for, when Spirit even knows that this is something that you can be easily accessed by you. But there's something about what's happening in regards to you in your mental mind state and how hard you make your mind work that is not allowing the dots to connect. You've connected every other dot, but there's something about this one spot on the page that you've been going around that sums up everything, that is actually in the center of it all. Okay, do we want to read this? Yes, we do. And it says, ease up a bit. Confirmation. Ease up a bit. You've done enough for now. Balance your hard work with relaxation and rest to avoid underestimating your best intentions. There are limits to what you can do alone. Okay. Okay. So, Spirit said now to the nitty gritty. Okay, so we want to start with Kipperish. Kipperish. Okay, so what is it that wants to be talked about? Animosity. Home. Yeah. Divine feminine. Right here. Love spell. Third leg here. Obsession. Okay. Okay. Enamored. Third leg here. Karmic fam. Really. Okay. Expectations. Twin flame. And at the bottom we have healer. So here with this twin flame energy, the way that I perceive twin flame energy is to be the harder, the tougher lessons. It's not necessarily about romance. It could be platonic, whatever the case may be. But it's about those harder lessons in life that we find ourselves in alignment with people who can teach us those lessons to remove us from those ways of being. So what I'm seeing here, honey, let's go ahead and dive into this. There is a family matter, an ex, whomever may even come to mind, or this may even resonate with for you. They have had this ultimate obsession with you and the way that you would turn out, the way that you would be. And a lot of it is based upon what they've witnessed of their capability to put you in this positioning of carrying the guilt, carrying the load, and carrying not just that of them, but the doubt of yourself. They've known so much was possible for you, but behind the scenes, they have definitely been talking about you, gossiping about you, and matching keynotes with other people. And Spirit said, remember that center of the page. Remember the center of the page about that dot that has yet to be connected for you. But they are completely, they, them, him, her, whomever, are completely obsessed with your elevation. That regardless of how you defend and protect yourself, you're crazy. Regardless of if you're right to defend yourself and protect yourself, you're crazy. Because that dot in the center of the page that you have yet to realize is the end all be all of their madness has not been said by you. You have been saying so many things in drawn out paragraphs, details, and essays that their minor minds cannot follow along. I saw a YouTube short earlier where this guy, he was saying that anger actually depletes your brain from being able to develop further brain cells. And he said several other things about it. I'm going to put it down in the description. That it would be very important for you to get that message in understanding of how you have done the work for yourself in transitioning and alchemizing how you deal with anger and stand in the realms of positivity, but also having an understanding of how much space their brain does not have to be able to take in the information that you've tried to share with them. They are not puzzle type of people. Now they may actually, do the whole puzzle board things and putting together puzzles and starting with the border and all that stuff and then doing the center part. But Spirit said in regards to these people, they pretty much built the frame of the puzzle. And they said, fuck the middle, fuck the details, fuck what the hell you want to say, how you feel and everything else, because all that matters is the picture that they painted for themselves. Okay? So, but they are so completely obsessed, even if it seems as if they have other shit to do, even if it seems as if they are attending to that. Your elevation to any understanding or any light that is shined on you moving forward, you making progress, you doing what even they would that they needed support to be able to do for themselves, you elevating is causing them, I've heard, being causing them to be fragmented and causing them to overreact as if you are not permitted to live your life in peace because they need you to be unstable. Confirmation. And their best ways of being able to cause your instability is to question you, is to cast that form of doubt in your mind of, well, why would they ask me that question? Why would they approach me like that? Why did they feel like that's something that was okay for them to say to me? And the thoughts of what you actually thought that they would be. They want you to not just doubt your time. Doubt, I'm sorry. They also want you to doubt what you're supposed to be doing with your time by being concerned with them. But they also want you to procrastinate so hard, being focused on them. That time has just flying by so much that you didn't have the time to invest in yourself as you intended on doing. So this is why Spirit has been telling you to move in silence and to keep your distance regardless of the time, the topic, the authority, and titles of these people that they yearn for you to respect of them. It's how you're being depicted within their stories, and also how you're being depicted based upon those who want to collaborate with them because they're spinning the narrative of the same story. I realizing what read we're in, and they said let's give them something to talk about, right? So here with Enamored and Divine Feminine and Karmic, they definitely would like to see you act out, but you've learned how to train your beast. You've learned who's worthy of that heightened energy of you being mad, of you being angry. And you realize that though you can serve them the dish cold, it does not mean that you have to yell, that you got to scream, or that you got to go demolish anything of theirs because they're already living in a life of misery. The only thing that brings them peace is seeing you get all excited. Excited in the sense of you being riled up, you sweating out your hair, you giving them your energy and just being, what's the word that we're looking for? Erratic with your mindless behavior. They don't want you to be conscious of what you are saying when you are in their presence. So I don't recall where this was at in the beginning read, but Spirit said, be in the present all the time. Ground yourself all the time. No matter how nervous once upon a time somebody made you, because we tend to have these conversations in our head of, you know what I know, and now that I know what I know, when I see this person again, I'm going to say this. Or if this person ever act like this towards me, I'm going to do this. And then you freeze up and everything that you planned previously, just where the fuck did it even go? So Spirit said that this center of the page, seed, this dot that they're going to connect with you, is going to take you out of that freeze mode. It's going to help you, just like what the story that I shared with you earlier about my mother fending for her little sister all my life, and I was her child, and she birthed me, and she was supposed to protect me. She protected her sister who had that addiction for, honey, for most of my since I was born, through my adolescence, and a good portion of my adulthood. She clean, not proud of her for being clean. See, no animosity there, for me at least. People go through what they go through, and I don't judge them for it. But how you choose to affiliate your problem with me is that's where we got the problem at. But even in regards to my mother, who took on being more responsible for her little sister than she was even for the child that she birthed, for me to get that down low, honey was like, oh, okay, you right. Spirit, you right. Ain't shit they can say to me. Ain't shit they can say to me about the past, about what I did. Because then I'm even looking at my upbringing and my addictions like, oh, okay, so the reason why I dove into certain substances was because somewhere in my head there was an understanding of, oh, the only way that you can be believed or trusted is if you're doing these type of things. And though I started doing those type of things more than likely for that purpose, I found myself being an addict just as well. Right? But honey, we clean. Recovery is always, because there's so much that can tempt you to try to go back. And whatever it is that you have recovered from, do understand you are always in recovery. Do understand those will always be the temptations that the enemy will try to throw in your direction. They will put those speed bumps in your way to say, hey, don't you want to go back to that? Because that's how you used to cope. Don't you want to go back to that? Because that was fun. Don't you want to go back to being ignorant and yelling and everything? Because remember how good you felt, but do you also remember how bad you felt once you went back to it? And how much time it took for you to even forgive yourself and coach yourself away from staying away from it, and all the things that you had to do for you to maintain you. Spirit said, don't even worry about it. It's like they said, they got this handle for you. Continue to let them feel however they're going to feel about you, because really, truth and honesty, if they are to witness how you are now, it only angers them and frustrates them, the fact that they cannot continue the story that they, in the narrative that they have spoken about you, without you being that way. Okay, so they are definitely in high expectations. They are nervous. They know that you're constantly healing yourself. But it's that freezing point that they know they need to trigger in you in order to remove you from being that healer for yourself. What is this card trying to peek out? We got two. Abuse. And protection. You have protection from this abuse. Tomatoes. You have a protection from this abuse. And the protection is about to get even stronger for you once you come to terms with that dot that's in the middle of the page. Spirit, where do we want to go? Right here, under the table. Under the table. Okay. So, at the bottom of the deck, we have sorrow, loss, grief, depression. Spirit, what do you want us to know about this sorrow? Karma. Okay. Nourish. Loyalty. Fantasy. I heard Mariah Carey, Sweet, Sweet Fantasy. Chemistry. Come on, come out my hand. Exhaustion. Conflict. Perspective. Boundaries. And thinking. You're going to put thinking right here with justice. Okay. Come over here first. Spirit said, it's saying, release yourself of how you think that all this is going to play out. Release yourself of any expectations of what you're going to do, what they should did, and everything else. Because that's the only way you're going to be able to be relaxed enough and at ease enough to receive this seed from Spirit. All of what you imagined things to once upon a time be and what you thought the things would be going forward is non-existent. All you got is you. Spirit say they got unclaimed rewards for you. But you need to let go of the frustration and the tightness of yourself that does not give your 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 brain room to breathe, to be able to accept it. Now they say come over here. Okay. So with perspective, it says that you're better off. You're better off not knowing at this moment if it has yet to come to you. Because they need to remove all of the clouds, right? So with loyalty, nourish, and conflict, they need to remove all the clouds of how you have created false narratives within yourself. Spirit wants you to just accept your presence as it is. Don't go back and with the reasons of Spirit says stop talking about it, period. There's nothing else to talk about. They want to regulate you to the understanding of what's actual. Because looking back at the story that I just shared with you, which is actually factual of my life, right? I have not spoken to my mother nor my aunt in however long. I have not personally been in their space, nor have I dealt with them. I went on and I lived my life. Now, I did get a tarot reading done years ago. They told me that this was going to happen. All right? Didn't exactly put it in these words, but it was a message of this being released. And it also gave me the heads up that, in regards to these people, it was never going to change. Here we are 6 years just about later, about 6 years later, and it finally happened. So I'm not saying that it's going to happen that long, that it's going to take that long for you. What I'm saying is you don't know when, but when it happens, you're going to know for sure. All right. So with the justice card down here, just a reminder, it says, find your balance and fulfill your karma. So you've been dealing with your karmic debt. You've been moving things right along, and you have been given that time and that space to be able to see and witness and experience yourself anew. And though you may even, for some of you, feel that, that you reached your ceiling, Spirit said, no, you haven't, because there are stories that you have told yourself that you have not heard the truth that you were telling yourself, the truth that you were revealing. Spirit is going to give you a certain order of words that's just going to end it. Okay? The consequences, the cause and effect. And this is all due to the boundaries that you're putting up. Okay. One card. Oh, baby. And it says, in a fog. Fear, obligations, or guilt make you stay. Get clarity. You heard me say one card, right? All right, we're going to wrap this up. And it says, perhaps you are reminded all too often just how quickly the phase in your life can shift. One change after another, you are learning to adapt and grow. Be kind and gentle with yourself. That's the only way that's going to happen. Unfortunately, do not, caution, do not go make yourself think about what this is. Do not go make yourself think about what did you miss? How can you simplify something? Don't do that to yourself, because then you're giving them that energy exchange that is not for them, but you're gifting that to them. Remember yourself before even this message. Okay, let go of the dwelling place. And it says start fresh, baby. 1313. Step out of your comfort zone. You are about to create something meaningful. All your skills and talents will bring you profits. Build up your confidence and trust your decision. Rebels, I love you and I adore you. but you got life to go live, go be happy, go live freely, okay? Go make your life do what it needs to do for you. That's all.